deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music, deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music, deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music, deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music, deeper than music.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Listening to Deeper Than Music Radio. Behind every great song, there's an even greater story. I'd like to say what's up to everybody listening to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, and all the other various podcasting platforms that we're streamed on. And like we said, Deeper Than Music, we interview well-known celebrities as well as up-and-coming talents. Today we have a very special treat. All the way from Southern California, we have singer, songwriter, and live streamer. He's also known worldwide. He has his daily live music broadcast where he live streams on platforms such as Twitch and Periscope. He performs throughout Southern California and has headlined concerts at the Hotel Café, the Mint LA, the Bar Lubitsch, and including performances as well as he's performed internationally. Ladies and gentlemen, we have singer, songwriter Michael Barnum here on Deeper Than Music Radio. How you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. Thanks for being here, man. I definitely thank you for taking the time out to come and be on Deeper Than Music Radio. I also see that you were also a featured performer on Crazy Talented Asians at LA Rockwell Table and Stage.
Yeah, that was like a little showcase that we did at LA Rockwell. It was actually presented by one of the bigger known YouTube music artists from the Asian American community. So it was really fun.
Wow. And then also you were you appeared on American Idol, LA TV.
Yeah. So a couple TV appearances. The American Idol thing was when it came back for the reboot for the first time with on ABC.
Oh, okay. And
yep.
How was that experience, man? Because it looks, from the outside looking in, it looks very intense. Like,
it sure is. Yeah. You're totally right about it. It was pretty much like a 6-month process, I would say. Oh, excuse me, my phone. Sorry.
No problem.
It was it was pretty much a 6-month process. It started in like the summer before 2018, so 2017 summer, and there's, as we all know, like all these shows, there's a lot of hoops you have to get through before you actually get on the actual show. Just to keep listeners updated on what happened, I actually didn't make it to Hollywood, and they never aired my audition, so we never get to see it. I never got to see it because they never aired it. But it's definitely a process from beginning to end.
Wow. And man, so pre and post American Idol, what was the experience like? What was the gains? What was the lessons learned? And did anything like life changing?
Yeah, it's interesting, dude, because when it all unfolded, I was that same summer where I was going to audition for the show. Like, I had just quit my job to pursue music full time, and it was like one of the scariest things I've ever had to do because I didn't have anything else to fall back on. So I was like, okay. All right, so if it's this, let's just go for it, like 100%, and like let's not look back. And obviously that didn't pan out the way I wanted. I did kind of fall into a little bit of a rut, and I started kind of feeling unmotivated and stuff. But anywho, like it actually fueled me and gave me a lot of fire to keep writing and to keep honing my craft. And now here we are with a new album that just came out that is a result of all that drive and all that inspiration that was given to me throughout that whole process.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, so we did the introduction. We talked a little bit about your TV exposure as well as your live broadcast. So my first question is for listeners who don't know who Michael Barnum is. Can you describe who Michael Barnum is and what is your sound and what are you bringing to music?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, again, my name is Michael Barnum. I'm a singer, songwriter, and live streamer. Look, I've been singing since I was 4 years old. My mom studied voice and piano when she was growing up, so I definitely had the music genes instilled in me from a very young age. Mm-hmm. For me, I kind of stepped into the songwriting scene probably when I picked up the guitar for the first time. So we're looking at like 2014, 2015. But it wasn't until like a year later after that that I started like writing my own songs through live streaming. So I started on an app called Periscope and just started playing music for people, like, just covers and stuff. And then it slowly built up an audience, and people said, do you write your own music? And it never crossed my mind. I never wanted to actually write my own music. So if it wasn't for the online audience that kind of pushed me into writing music, I would not be where I am today. But in terms of like the sort of music I make, the music that I love listening to growing up was a lot of R&B, a lot of soul, a lot of that really good singers, and so I think that's deeply rooted into the production and then the way I create my music today. I just want to create music that speaks, that makes a difference in someone's life, or that it affects you somehow. If I made you feel something, and you're listening to my track or listening to me sing, then I feel like I've done my job. I just want to make, the music that is authentic to me. And sometimes that involves stepping out of the box and not doing what everybody else is doing. And it's scary, no doubt, but ultimately that's just what's on my heart and what I want to share.
So you came from a musical family. So did you know initially that the music and being an entertainer was a career path that you wanted to take in life?
Yeah, good question. I think I always wanted to perform. I mean, I graduated with a degree in theater in college, so the performing is already in me for sure. But I don't think I ever planned when I was younger that I was going to be a true artist that wrote their own music and sang. If anything, I thought I was going to be like a pop star, just kind of singing other people's songs or have people write me songs or whatnot. So the whole idea of songwriting and creating my own stories in my music is fairly new to me, but I'm grateful for every step of the way.
And you said you were like reluctant to be a songwriter or to be out the front. What drove that reluctancy, out of curiosity?
Again, I think it really is like the outpouring support that I got online. I mean, we started from like 3 viewers to 300 viewers, and then thousands of viewers tuning in every day to just watch me play music. And again, there was one point where I was like practicing and working on a song that I had written, and I was like, I'm just gonna play it for you guys, see what you guys think. And next thing I know, everyone is like, oh, you have to put that out there, you have to be writing music. And so again, it does go back to this audience that have literally pushed me and got me to really step out of my comfort zone and write music that is authentic to me.
Wow. And you coming from a musical family, when you expressed wanting to become an artist, were they supportive, reluctant, or how was the reception?
It's funny. So again, my mom studied voice and piano when she was growing up. So I mean, my parents are like my rock. Like, they're the most supportive parents in the world, and I'm so grateful for them. Obviously, there are some times where I'll get a conversation like, hey, how are you going to make your rent this month, or how are you going to make ends meet? So that conversation does happen, but like, I just keep on going, and they're super supportive. So I'm grateful to have them on my side. I know a lot of people in my family specifically are kind of they become nurses and doctors and whatnot, like, other jobs and stuff. So I think I might be the only one that's kind of pursuing something within the arts. And for me, that kind of feels like the black sheep of the family. But at the same time, that sounds pretty dope, because I'm not no competition in the family. It's just me. But when it comes down to it, like, I just feel like whatever it is that you're passionate about, you got to do what you love. Because as we all know, I mean, like, we're essentially living in an apocalyptic world right now, where we just don't know what it's going to look like tomorrow. So like, I want to spend every waking hour, every second doing what I love. And my parents are there. They're at my gigs like every single time, front row. My dad's like my roadie, and he'll help me load in and stuff. So so I'm humble, dude. I love performing, and I love being able to share my gift with the world. That's what I'm called to do, I feel.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, because like now, what's happening now, it's like it's crazy, right? And the funny thing is, like, the top Netflix movies right now, the top 10 are Contagion,
are like the ones,
Outbreak, 2012. So,
exactly. Yep.
So it's like, do what you love and live life to the fullest, because we never know.
Absolutely.
We never know. So I wanted to bring up, I got the song queued up, the Money song. Can you give us the story behind this song?
Yeah. So the Money Song was conceived. This was like written during my transitional period. It was when I wanted to leave my last job. I worked as a marketing and box office associate for a local arts organization in my city for about 4 years. It was the first job I got out of college. And, 4 years is a long time for, being in an office job, especially someone like me who loves performing and stuff. It's just, there was one point where I just I don't see myself sitting behind a desk for the rest of my entire life. And I wrote it during that time, and I was on the fence about leaving. I was telling my mom. My mom was like, well, make sure you have something to fall back on. And there was even a time where I started looking for jobs, and nothing was catching. I was like, I'm going to dive right in. Let's just go at music, and whatever happens. I'm going to ride the wave, trust in God. Let's go. And so I wrote this song, and it got me thinking about this idea of money and how we're all kind of revolving around it, and how it just, although it provides us with so much, it also keeps us and makes us feel lonely and like we're unworthy of something. And so I came up with that concept, and now it's off the last album that we have called Breaking Habits.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Barnum here on Deeper Than Music Radio, and we have the Money Song.
Deeper Than Music Radio. Behind every great song is a greater story.
He hates the fact that you need money to live. You need money to make a living. You need money to pay the bills, and that the world revolves around money. Why can't he just make a life out of music and doing what he loves? Why does that one stupid thing hold him back from seeking his potential? He's terribly unhappy with his job. He just wants to walk in and say, I quit. He don't want to work your spreadsheets anymore, because he's tired of answering your calls and being confined to your four walls and punching time clocks over and over again. But still he keeps on fighting, and they can't see him coming. They think all he has is a silly song to sing. But still he keeps on fighting, no matter where he's going. It ain't easy to share all his vulnerabilities. Plain old Jane works the counter all day, serving coffee, tea, and pies. With a baby on the way, she contemplates her life. But she don't get a dime working overtime, the world she'll never know. Hoping one day she'll find a place to make home. But still she keeps on living, and they can't understand that she has hopes and she has dreams. But still she keeps on living, and one day that dream might finally become a reality. I don't wanna be living this misery I've been stuck in for all of this time. I don't wanna be living this misery I've been stuck in for all of this time. I'll stand on my own, so tall, 'cause I've outgrown those boundaries you locked me in. Oh, 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 oh. But still we keep on fighting, and they can't understand that we have hopes and we have dreams. But still we keep on living, and one day that dream will finally become reality.
Man, I gotta say, they say Well, we got a saying, you don't just sing the song, you sang the song, and you sang that song, man.
Oh man, thank you.
No, it's like it's silky smooth, and definitely a good song.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
I wanted to ask, who are your influencers? Who influences you musically?
Okay. So again, I feel like a lot of my influences come from what I listen to. So my parents played everything from like the Bee Gees to like Stevie Wonder. But in like modern day times, like I really love artists like Bruno Major, Alan Stone, John Legend, Ed Sheeran. So I feel like a lot of things that they've created, I've kind of like taken from, it's just that soulful singing. And I hope that reads through for people who are listening or whoever gets a chance to listen to my record. We really wanted to create something that was authentic and true to me, but also like, making it be about my voice. Cause I feel like that's the biggest asset that I have as an artist is my voice.
Yeah. So I could definitely, you can hear the soul in the singing, man. It's reminiscent of it's very reminiscent of man, I can't even think of his name right now, but like soulful, like Marvin Gaye-ish.
Hey,
and also,
thank you.
Yeah, yes, it's got soul, man. You definitely got a soulful voice.
Thank you so much.
So you mentioned like some of your challenges, and a question I wanted to ask. So when you felt like you wanted to give up, because we all
been there.
I feel like if you're not living your dream, you feel like a caged bird. Like what kept calling you? Like what was that spark to say like, don't give up, let's keep on this pathway?
Honestly, I think for me it's God for me. It's just I know that I'm called in this world to share the gift that I've been given, and every time that I perform or be able to sing, I mean, it never fails to make me smile. It never fails to make other people smile, and like seeing the joy that people have when they hear me sing, and they kind of feel like we built a better connection just through music, and that's how I sort of just feel about it, dude. But a little backstory: when I was 5 on a trip home from the Philippines, I was immediately hospitalized, and I was in there for like 3 days or whatnot, and I had was stuck in there, and I had I was down with a Stevens-Johnson syndrome, and I don't know if you know about that. For those of you, basically your eyes and your mouth are completely closed, and like it's pretty it's pretty bad, and it could be really horrible, and some people have gone blind from it. So I'm thankful. Like my parents, my mom stood by my bed the whole time and was praying. And so like I know, because I came out from that, I know that there's a higher purpose or something greater for me in my life. So I just want to stick on that path and keep going and sing for the world.
Man, so that's a very very inspiring story.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to ask, like, what is the catalog, man? We mentioned the album. What works have you put out in the universe? Like, what is your body of work?
Speaking of universe, I do have a song called Universe. So I have good segue there, dude. I have so I've got 2 EPs in the can right now. The first EP is called Trust. It has 5 original tracks that were that we made back in 2016. And again, this is all, both of these projects that I'm going to talk about were all funded by my online community. And some of these people I had never met before, they were just like, here, take some money and go make your dreams come true. So that we have that's my first EP. And then my second EP is called Breaking Habits. That came out last year, August 2019. And that has 8 original tracks. And then I got a couple, there's like another single out there, but I just, I want to, especially now, just stay creative and keep grinding. So I think my next move is probably going to be another single. I think the album was honestly a lot to do because when I was creating it, like I didn't even know, dude, that these songs were ever going to see the light of day. For me, Breaking Habits is about like stepping out of my comfort zone and literally being, so vulnerable. I feel that's my most personal and vulnerable record to date. And I just want to keep creating, and have more people get in tune with what my story is and hear what I have to say.
and then we broke into the universe. So I guess, man, I have that queued up. Would you like to give the story behind Universe before we showcase it here on Deeper Than Music?
Yeah, for sure. Universe is it's a pretty old song for me, but it's new for most people. It's okay. So this goes back to like a couple of years ago when I was in my living room, my parents' house, and for that month, I challenged myself to write a song every single day, and this is one of the songs that came out from it. And the biggest thing for me was, let's not judge whatever comes out. Like, it was just about like getting whatever was in my head onto paper. And once I got that written out, I was off to the races. And I wrote that song in about like maybe 15 minutes. And I'm not doing this to flex. I'm just saying, like, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you just strike gold. And I feel like I was able to tap into something I didn't even know I was even capable of. But Universe is about lust, but it's about being so infatuated with someone that you don't want to just be part of their world, or like, oh, let me be around you. I just want to be part of your universe. Like forget galaxies, forget space. Let's make it like the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
So that's it. So that's Universe, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here with special guest Michael Barnum, Universe, here on Deeper Than Music.
Deeper Than Music Radio.
Your eyes, when you look at me, I think I'm feeling kinda strange. Your smile, when you smile at me, erases all my pain away. Because the love that you share makes me wanna go there, wherever you are. And every time that I try, I get all bundled up inside and I can't move. So let me have you, and all the pieces that make up your truth. Let me love you. I wanna be a part of your universe. Your universe. You have the power to change this world at the drop of a dime. 'Cause your voice can change this world and all of mankind. Oh, the loving that you're sharing makes me feel like I'm in heaven, and I'm really just a planet that's orbiting in space around you. And no matter how I'm speeding, gravity keeps you from waiting, and I'm lost in the translation, and I'm not sure what to do. So let me have you, and all the pieces that make up your truth. Let me love you. I wanna be a part of. What am I so afraid of? Jump in the water, you'll be fine. Well, maybe I'm afraid of drowning into your Let me have you, and all the pieces that make up your truth. Let me love you. I wanna be a part of. Let me have you, and all the pieces that make up your truth. So let me love you. I wanna be a part of your universe. Your universe. Your universe. Your universe.
Michael Barnum here on Deep Music Radio. Universe. Question: was that song inspired by anybody personally?
Might have been, yeah.
No, it's a deep song, man. It kind of reminds me of it's on the level of the brand new heavies. They have a song called After Forever, and the man's like, look, I'ma love you until after forever. You know what I mean? So
See, we go deeper and deeper in this podcast, so that's what it's all about.
yeah.
I dig it. I got to check that out. Heavies, you said?
Yeah. So a funk band called the Brand New Heavies.
All right.
It's their 1997 album called Shelter. And a fun fact is Sadia Garrett, who also she wrote Man in the Mirror, and she performed with Michael Jackson on his Bad album, I Just Can't Stop Loving You.
No, I love that.
She's the lead singer of the Brand New Heavies. Yes, it's a deep song, man.
Dude, you got to send me a link to it. I want to check it out.
Okay, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
So with this career and all that you're doing, what has been the most rewarding aspect of your career so far?
I think the most rewarding thing about all of this in my career is just, I feel like, and I'm being real with you 100%, like it's just about me getting closer and closer to my truth as an artist. Mm-hmm. And if anything, I want whatever I put out, if it's an album, a single or whatnot, like I want that. I want it to always be a step further than what I was before. I never want it to be like we took 2 steps back and this is where we're at again. Yeah. And I think that's a big struggle that a lot of artists have, is like, how do you stay authentic and true when you have people like labels and you have other producers saying like, well, maybe try this instead. Like you can only know what your true potential is if you try and just put yourself out there. Yeah. So for me, I get so much, I get a high from just, stepping out of my comfort zone and going for it. It's scary, dude. Like just to even like release something like that. Like, again, I didn't know these songs would ever see the light of day. I just wrote them because that's how I heal. That's how I cope and go through whatever I'm going through. Like, I can't just sit in front of you and tell you how it is. Like, I go to music. That's my vessel for how I'm feeling. Yeah.
You bring up, I didn't mean to interrupt. You bring up a good point because I think like great artists, they connect on a human level. Yep. And what best way to be your authentic self? Because I mean, trends are trends; they come and go. Right. But being your true authentic self, people can relate to that, and that's always forever. Like we mentioned Marvin Gaye, like what's going on? That's a classic still, Mm-hmm. So no, that's a good way to approach music.
Yeah, and looking back at all those influences, people like Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and stuff. Like the reason why I feel, in my humble opinion, why their music still lives today is because they were sharing their truth, and that resonates beyond belief, and people can feel that, And there's just there's a lot going on, and I sometimes feel like the best artists out there aren't the ones on the radio. I feel like the ones that are really doing the work and doing so well are the ones who are playing coffee shops or just like spitting out tracks from their bedroom, like and it's sad that some of that talent goes unheard. Yeah,
and I think you're right too, because there's also cookie cutter, but then there's people that that make it straight from the heart. And like you said,
Yeah.
this is them emoting. This is their medicine. This is their therapy.
That's
you
it.
know, to let out. It's basically just journaling.
Yeah.
With music. On the flip side, what has been so far in your career? What has been your most challenging, or what is the most challenging aspect of being an artist?
That's a good question. I think the most challenging is, I feel like it's just continuing to stay hungry.
Yeah.
And want to stay motivated, especially in times like right now. Because I mean, I have a lot of musician friends that have been hurt by all this. They lost a bunch of gigs, including myself. So it's been hard, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I'm like every other artist. We all go through this, like, doubts and fears and stuff. But I think those things are necessary for the path. Because otherwise, if you didn't go through that, then it shows that you don't care as much, you know. Like if I wasn't nervous about being on this podcast, then that means I don't care to do it. But I mean, I am nervous, like just being able to talk to you and share my story. That's scary. So getting, again, like just being able to stay motivated through all this. Believe me, I'm like waking up every morning like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to stay productive? And thank God we have technology like social media and stuff, because even though we're like social distancing, we can still socialize through the mediums here, which is so great. Can you imagine if this happened like 30 years ago? We'd be like out of our minds. We'd be like, I'm in the corner playing Scrabble by myself. Like, you know, it's difficult, but I think, it's in these, like, the peaks and valleys. When you're deep in it, you feel like, you don't know how you're going to move on. I think that's when you're on to something really special. And I'll leave you with this one more time, is that I feel like, especially this week, people are like, man, all these musicians and artists don't know what they're going to do. And I'm like, can you imagine the amazing work that's being created right now? Like right now, like somebody's making like a kick-ass album and it's got like a killer song, because they're kind of stuck in this, in their own home, and they're just forced to write, you know? So it's like, it's weird, because like, although we're stuck, but we're also like been given a gift to write something really special and to be creative more than ever.
You know what's funny is you mentioned what this forces us to do, because in our daily lives everything's moving fast. I feel like that we're just moving, we're losing moments. It forces us to sit down and be in the moment, because everybody's busy, everybody's distracted, and what this virus is doing is like, hey, stay home, quarantine, get to know people, because I mean, you get to know your family, get to know the people that you're quarantined with, because I liken it to, you go to like a restaurant, a family dinner, people are staring at the phones.
Absolutely.
So
that's right.
It forces you not to be distracted. But man, to keep it moving, song question mark. Before I play that, man, what is the question mark? What is the song about?
Okay, so question mark was, again, the songs off this album are a lot of songs that I've been sitting on for a while. And this is probably like my most personal and vulnerable song that I've written, because I've dealt with this feeling of loneliness for a long time. And, one of my greatest fears is, living alone for the rest of my entire life, which is, is a scary thought, obviously. I'm an only child. And, so like being alone since I was a kid, it was kind of hard, because you wouldn't have many friends to hang out with and stuff, and you were kind of just by yourself. So don't get me wrong, I'm a homebody, but this song was what I needed. It was my prayer. It was my healing, because I needed to know that I wasn't alone. And so I think the biggest message out there is, whatever you're going through right now, whether it's you feel like no one loves you, or you feel like you're like down in the dumps and you don't know how you're going to get out, whatever it may be, like, it's completely valid, and you're not alone. You are not alone. That's the message that I hope people get from it. And I tell that to everybody every time I play this live. I'm like, please know that you're not alone. Like, you're not the only one going through whatever you're going through. You will get through this. And it's these things that will only help shape our story and our character and make us stronger than ever before. So That's question mark. Just a bunch of questioning.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of the story behind the song, and also a little bit of inspiration. So here we go. Question mark with our special guest today, Michael Barnum, here on Deeper Than Music.
Deeper Than Music Radio.
Is there anyone out there for me? Question. Could there be a possibility? Am I just not worthy of love? Question. When will it be my turn? I've been so patient, I've been so kind. Yet what I'm looking for, I can't find. When I find you, I will make you mine. And when I hold you, I will hang on tight. Gotta stay open. Answer. Everyone deserves a chance. I've been so patient, I've been so kind. Why am I the one who's all alone? When I find you, I will make you mine. And when I hold you, I will hang on tight. Every day gets tougher. Sleepless nights and sleepless days. I'm gonna stay hopeful, because love will find its way. When I find you, I will make you mine. When I hold you, I will hang on tight. When I find you, I will make you mine. And when I hold you, I will hang on tight. make you mine.
Michael Barnum singing question mark song here on Deeper Than Music. Man, so as with every great interview, man, we got like 4 minutes left, but I want to give you an opportunity. This is your time.
Thank you.
Self-promotion. I can't say next shows, right? Our online streaming, your streaming platform.
Yeah.
What does the future hold for Michael Barnum?
Yeah, just because we can't play shows right now. I mean, when we bounce back from this, I'll be gigging all over the greater Los Angeles area and whatnot. But in the meantime, you can catch me on all the social media feeds. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook.com, Michael Barnum Music, YouTube, Michael Barnum Music in there as well. I'm also I do live streams on Twitch.tv, so you can tune into the streams. I'll be playing music for you. You got a request, I got you. And it's just me just wanting to stay motivated during this time. And to any artist out there, producer, anybody that works in the creative field who might feel like they're like not sure what they're going to do next, just keep creating. Use that fire that you have right now to make your best art. And as they say, take your broken heart, turn it into art. And that's what I plan to do.
Man, no doubt. Last question. What does music mean to Michael Barnum?
Oh, man. Okay. Music to Michael Barnum means something with great purpose, something that will affect many and inspire people to follow their dreams and do what they love, because as we all know, life is too short to not do so.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. And Michael Barnum, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be a special guest here on Deeper Than Music, and also to share your great talent.
Thank you for having me.
But the best, man. Like you said, we got to adapt and overcome.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Another great episode of Deeper Than Music with another awesome talent, Michael Barnum. And we're signing off here on Deeper Than Music Radio.
Thank you so much.
Deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music. Deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music. Deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music. Deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music. Deeper than music.